So today we are practicing yoga for mental fatigue. And being Friday morning and the end of the week, I think this is something that we can often relate to at this time of the week. Um, so this is maybe like this practice is going to still be an all around good practice. I would probably lead you in a different practice if we were doing physical fatigue. But if you are feeling physical fatigue, just go with that and kind of ease into the practice. We're going to work on finding the balance between enough efforting, so a little bit of effort in the poses, but not so much mental effort, right? So I don't want you to have to think about what we're doing so much. I'll still give you some alignment cues, but it's not going to be maybe as detailed as sometimes I do. So it's it'll be more like bringing your awareness to things during a pose rather than thinking about everything to align perfectly. And we're going to start on our backs today. So if you would like to bring your blocks under your knees for a reclined bound angle, by all means do. And let's just take a moment or two of centering. So let's lie down on your back. And we're going to bring the soles of your feet together. And this is if you have blocks on hand and you'd like them, you can just wedge the blocks under the thighs. And I like to put the flat part of the block on my thigh so the corner is actually on the ground. And if you don't want blocks, you can just let the knees hang. If that's not comfortable, just place the feet onto the mat with your knees upright. And then take a moment to roll the shoulder blades under and flip the palms up. And when we come into some of these postures today, I want you to just be mindful of how you're feeling. So even though we're focusing on mental fatigue, you might notice that you're also feeling a little physical fatigue. So just honor however you're feeling and wherever you're at today. And begin to deepen your breath, taking some nice cleansing breaths through the nose. Exhale out the mouth and let it go. A couple more like that. Deep breath in. And exhale, release. And one more round of breath. Cleansing breath. Let the face soften and relax. And begin to let the mind settle. So often when we have mental fatigue, we tend to feel scattered, or we might even be sort of wired and tired because our brains have been on overdrive. I know for me, scattered is usually a good word for it when I'm having mental fatigue. Sometimes overwhelm comes in. We have so many things going on in our brains all the time. We overschedule our lives, and then we kind of end up in this state of mental exhaustion. So if this is speaking to you today, I invite you to set your intention for one of presence, of awareness, and of calming the mind. And if that's not speaking to you, by all means, set a different intention for yourself. And just take a moment here to breathe it in and out. And then we'll seal our intentions together with a nice big breath in through the nose and pause. And another sip of air in through the nose and pause. And then a long, slow exhale softly out the mouth, letting the belly pull in towards the spine. And if you have blocks under your knees, go ahead and remove the blocks, set them off to the side or at the top of your mat if that feels better. And then place the feet on the ground. Hug your knees into your chest. Give them a little squeeze in and a rock side to side. Place your hands on your knees and extend your arms long so your hands are just supporting the knees. And then we're going to take some nice big circles with the knees together. So bending the elbows and then straightening them, going in one direction. And this is by far my favorite low back massage. So if you suffer from any issues in your sciatic area or sacrum, low back, this is something you can do anytime you want. And then let's complete that circle and we'll switch directions. Just begin to notice how the breath is moving into your body. Are you congested today? Are you feeling open? And just draw that awareness to the breath. Wonderful. And hug the knees in one more time. Go ahead and lift head, neck, and shoulders and pause here. So we're just going to do a slight bit of awareness, turning the core on. We're not going to go full force. So the class is finding that balance. And maybe for you, you're feeling different today, right? So we don't want to think too much, but if you're feeling like, oh, this isn't enough for me, I need more, and you want to come up to boat pose, you can. We're going to hold here for just one more breath. Excellent. And go ahead and lower the head down. Place both feet on the mat. Cross your right ankle just above the left knee, and then draw your left knee towards your body. Thread the needle, grabbing hands around the left shin or behind the left thigh. We'll take these few moments to just honor how we're showing up today. And then keep your legs as they are. Release your hands. You're going to cradle your right knee with your right arm, and then left hand to your left foot or to the inside of the elbow. And then begin to extend the left leg long. And I might have just said left hand to left foot, left hand to right foot. And we're going to keep the head, neck, and shoulders up. So we're hovering that left heel. A little bit of work and attention once again. So when we have this mental fatigue, we want to draw our attention to single focused things. So we're going to do poses to just get your attention is the best way to put it. Not thinking, not overly correcting, but just feeling. One more breath. And then exhale, release the head down, unravel the legs. Pause for a moment between sighs. Big breath in and out. And then we'll take the left ankle to the right thigh and begin to draw your right knee in, interlacing hands either behind the right thigh or around the right shin. Lift head, neck, and shoulders. And then lower the head down. Just squeeze in for a moment. I'm getting ahead of myself. Just enjoy that gentle opening through the outer left hip. And then we're going to keep the legs as they are. Release the hands. Wrap your left arm around the left knee, right hand to your right foot or to the inside of your right elbow. Lift head, neck, and shoulders. Now, extend right leg to hover over the mat, flexing the right toes, engaging the core. 2 to 3 breaths. And notice if you're feeling an opening. I notice as soon as I lift my head up, I've got this lovely clearing in my sinuses. So we're just beginning to build heat in the body. And then relax the head down, unravel the legs, place the feet on the mat, pause for a moment. And we're going to make our way into a seat, so you can either roll onto one side or bring hands behind the thighs and do a few rock and rolls up and down the spine. This is a great way to bring energy up. I'm going to do one more, and then we'll come to a comfortable seat, coming all the way up. Pause. Big breath in and out. So nice. Go ahead and come to a simple cross-legged pose. And we're just going to take an easy forward fold. So I've got right shin in front of left, and my shins aren't like super tight up against me, like the feet aren't underneath me. They're a little further away. And begin to crawl your fingertips forward. Keep your gaze forward and stretch the arms long, and then relax the back of the neck. Gaze comes down. A little pressure into the fingertips. So you're feeling a nice stretch for the outer hip. We're not overdoing it. And we have that little pressure down to draw your awareness and kind of activate the body. So that's the goal of our class today, is to activate the body to bring the mind some focus. One more breath. Wonderful. Go ahead and come on up. We're going to switch the cross of your legs. Once again, not so tight against the body so the feet aren't feeling crushed. Lengthen through your spine as you inhale. Exhale, crawl the fingertips out. Look forward. Let them come as far as is comfortable. Press the finger pads into the ground and then relax the gaze down. And let the face be soft. If you feel like your mind is wandering and we're not moving enough, give pressure into the legs and press them down into the ground. And you'll instantly feel everything engaged through through the outer thighs. One more breath. Beautiful. Go ahead and crawl yourself up. And let's make our way into Navasana boat pose. So you can start with feet on the ground, lengthen your spine, and we want to keep some of this length, but I'm going to lean back a little bit and pull my navel towards my spine. So it's still long, but I'm sort of slightly leaned back, and the bottom of my spine is just a teeny bit rounded, not really a whole lot, but the upper back is straight. And then I'm going to begin to come up off of my heels and then maybe begin to float toes. We're keeping that engagement. We're keeping upright today. And you can stay here. You can even lift the toes a little higher if you want, or you can float hands and find your version. So if you bring the feet up and you instantly collapse down, go ahead and bring the toes a little lower. We've got 2 more breaths. Really drawing your awareness there, right to the center. Beautiful. And then place the feet down, hug the knees in, round through the spine, let that go. And let's make our way into a tabletop. So we're slowly, with our small movements, making our way up today. And just take a moment to kind of rock and sway the hips side to side. And maybe take circles in one direction. And just tuning into the sensations. If you want to go fast, you can go fast. If you want to go slow, you can go slow. And then we'll come back to center and take hip circles in the other direction. Just let this feel really nice. Nothing to think about, nothing to do. We are just here together, tuning into our bodies. And then let's come back to center. Begin to walk your hands towards the front of your mat. And I'd like you to keep your gaze forward as we move into puppy pose. So hips stay right over knees. Gaze forward and extend the arms. Press the fingertips down. And then when you've sort of reached the extent of your stretch, relax the head. Elbows are lifted. Finger pads keep pressing. Nice long spine. And we'll begin to open through the upper chest a little bit. Just kind of bringing some of the energy up. So finding that balance between grounding and opening. We'll be getting into the hips today as well. One more breath. Beautiful. Lift your gaze. Come on up out of your puppy pose, back to tabletop. And then just take a nice easy cat-cow for a few rounds with your breath. Letting it feel intuitive. You might even want to tuck the toes. That feels good today. Opening up through the bottom of your feet while you do your cat-cow. So we're having these moments of pause, of just intuitive motion. Let's take one more round. And then if your toes aren't tucked, go ahead and tuck the toes. We're going to begin to walk hands back towards the knees. Toes are tucked, and if you need to sort of move things around, spread the toes out with your fingers, by all means do. And you can just come back as far as is comfortable for you. If you're all the way back here and you want to bring your hands up to your thighs, that is an option. If this is too much on the feet, please stay supported and come out of the pose. If you happen to be upright, you can add on by taking a little interlace of the hands behind you. If you don't have this accessible, grab a strap, a belt, a sweatshirt, something that you can put between your hands. Otherwise, begin to roll the shoulders open, lift the heart. Ooh, feel that energy through the feet. Definitely drawing attention there. And keep lifting the chest. Oh, that should feel so lovely. One more breath in. Exhale, release the bind. If you have it, let's all come back to hands and knees. Untuck the toes and give them a kick, flutter. Let that go. Maybe let the hips sway side to side for a moment. And let's make our way into a downward facing dog. So from our tabletop, walk your hands slightly forward. Press down into the fingers. Fingers are spread wide. Index finger is at about 12 o'clock. We're going to spin the eyes of your elbows forward. So your arms are set up for down dog. Tuck the toes. Send the hips high. And start with bent knees. Pressing into the finger pads, especially the index finger and thumb knuckles. So we want sort of even weight in the hands between pinky and index finger. And then once you're in your down dog, if you'd like to begin to pedal it out, you may do that. If you're feeling like stillness is more comfortable for you, take a breath in stillness. And then everyone come back to center in stillness. Come up onto the balls of your feet as you inhale. And exhale, lower the heels down. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhaling, lifting the heels up. Exhale, lower the heels. And last one, inhale up. Exhale, lower. And pause in your dog. Beautiful. Inhale, we're going to roll forward into high plank now. This is too much, lower down to the knees, but keep that plank shape with the body so the navel's still pulling in slightly, feeling strong in your core. Once again, we're drawing attention. You can't not have attention in plank pose. If your wrists are in any kind of injury, just lower down to the forearms and take forearm plank. And 1 more breath. And exhale, let's send the hips back up to the sky, down dog. Bend the knees, stretch the spine long, sits bones lift, and then exhale, straighten the legs any amount. You can do that a few times if you like. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth and let it go. And from our dog now, we're going to shorten your stance, and you can let the feet come a little wide if you need to. We're going to walk the feet up so you're in this very short down dog. Draw your right hand towards the middle of the mat, and then we're going to take a twist. You're going to grab with your left hand your right calf and draw your gaze under. Now, you can add on and deepen this by bending the left knee and taking that twist. Really deep outer hip stretch. So for me, this is a big challenge right now. If this is too much for you, straighten the legs. If it's not happening, just twist with both hands on the mat, gazing under, and you can lift a leg from 3-legged dog. 1 more breath. So good. Exhale, release the left hand down. Place it towards the center of the mat, and then right hand to the outside of the left calf. Option to bend that right knee and really twist around. Deep, deep, deep outer hip stretch for me today. Again, too much, you can keep the legs straight. It's a little less jarring. Really strong in the arms here. 1 more breath in. And exhale, let's release that. Come back to center, crawl forward to high plank. Lower the knees down, lower chest and chin to the mat. Untuck toes as you arrive. Inhale, press up to low cobra. And your cobra might be kind of a half lift. It might be a baby cobra. If you're feeling full cobra, by all means, go for it. 2 breaths in your cobra. So really pulling the heart forward, opening through the front of the chest and the abdomen. 1 more breath in. Exhale, let's lower down and pause. Stack your hands under your forehead, rest your head. Take this moment to relax and just release and let go. Noticing how you're feeling. Wonderful. Let's make our way back to dog. So you can press up either through push-up pose or just onto the knees. If you want to add some strength, you can tuck the toes, navel towards spine, and then press straight up. Not necessary. We're going to come to down dog for just a breath. And then let's step the right foot forward, making your way into warrior 1. Ground through the back foot and inhale, rise up. Find your balance. We're going to bring your arms up overhead, hugging the right hip back. Left foot is pressing. And this is where I love to take my little lunge forward for a moment to straighten through the back leg. And then keeping the navel pull in, lift the heart. Option here as well to take that little bind that we just took and toe tuck, interlacing hands behind the back, opening through the heart. If that's not accessible and you don't have a strap, take cactus arms, open through the chest. Press the feet down, lift the shoulders, down and back. And then we'll release the bind if you have it. Come back up to warrior 1. Exhale, bring the hands down. Let's step back to down dog and pause. If down dog is not accessible, it's challenging for you, just step up to Tadasana. This is just going to be our transition pose today. Let's bring the left leg up, gaze forward, and we'll step the left foot forward, getting in there however you can. Ground through the right foot. back foot at about a 45-degree angle, and then let's slowly come on up. And take your time coming into Warrior One if you want to lift the arms, and then take that lunge forward for just a moment to stretch through the right calf. And then as you inhale, lift the shoulders, navel to spine. Option to interlace the hands, maybe taking the opposite way this time. Roll the shoulders down onto the back, navel pulling in, open through the chest. And then really press the feet down and feel the shoulders roll open and down the back. Maybe the hands are even moving down the back leg. Face is soft. You can give yourself a smile. Wonderful. Let's release the arms. And we'll come back down to the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Option is to step up to Tadasana. Notice how you're feeling. We're going to once again bring the right foot forward so you can lift the right heel, gaze forward, bring the right foot through. Ground through the back foot. And we're going to set up for extended side angle. So you can either bring right forearm to the thigh. I love a block under my hand for this pose to the outside of the right foot. You can have the block at any height. All right, so for me, the block makes this accessible to get a little deeper than this version, but take your version, all right? And then begin to extend the left fingertips straight up and then over the ear, spinning your chest open, holding for a couple breaths, really strong in the leg, so pressing down through the front leg, noticing how that feels in the body. And then let's extend the left fingertips up once again. Maybe the gaze lifts, and even the fingertips might come back, a little chest opener. And let's release that. Come back down to your lunge. We're going to step back to dog. Again, option is to step up, Tadasana. Notice if the mind's beginning to settle, become slightly less scattered. We're going to take that posture to the other side. So left foot comes forward, ground through the right heel. Again, option here to bring left forearm to thigh. If you like a block like I do, grab it, place it to the outside of the left foot or ankle. We're going to really plant through the left hand, and then left fingertips come up to the sky. Open the arms. And then extend the right arm over the ear. Spin your chest open. And then I notice this left shoulder kind of goes a little wonky, so I'm going to rotate it back to its normal position. Plug it back into the socket there. One more breath. So strong in the legs. Press the feet down. Press into your back foot. And then let the right fingertips come straight up for side angle. Maybe a little chest opening coming back slightly. Wonderful. Go ahead and release. Come back to your lunge. Option for dog or coming to Tadasana. We're going to bring the right foot forward once again so you can lift the right foot. If you're coming from Tadasana, you're going to step the left foot back. And we're setting up for Warrior Two this time. So heel to heel alignment. Inhale, rise up. Take a moment here just to feel into the body. Shoulders over hips, extend the arms out, and then relax the shoulders down. Take a lunge in. Right knee should not be in front of the ankle. If it is, heel toe that right foot forward a little bit. Soft gaze. Press into both feet and feel that strength from the ground, especially the back foot. Really feel strong in the legs, navel's pulling in. And then flip the front palm. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, back to reverse warrior. Option for a little half bind with the left arm. Opening through the chest, opening through the left shoulder. Beautiful. And then let's release the arms, straighten the front leg, heel to the back foot up slightly. We're making our way into triangle. If you'd like a block, this is where I love my block, to the outside of my right calf. Send your hips back and lean forward. Plant the right hand down onto your shin or the block. Let's bring your left hand to your hip to start. So everything is kind of in this nice even line. Gaze is down. And then begin to roll the left shoulder open. And we're going to take a half bind today. So left hand to your low back or sacrum, or even around to your hip point if that is accessible. And then spin the chest open. Maybe the gaze comes up. Maybe it stays a little more neutral. Either way, we're adding that shoulder opening to kind of bring us a little energy today. One more breath. Excellent. Go ahead and release the arms, and we'll slowly rise up. And then let's spin all 10 toes to the side of your mat. Hands to hips, inhale, lengthen through the spine. And then if you'd like to take another bind, you can interlace hands once again, rolling the shoulders open, lifting the heart. Exhale, forward fold, with or without the bind. Let the head come down. Weight is more into the balls of the feet than the heels. If you need to bend the knees here, that's fine. And then maybe the arms begin to move away from the body, and you can squeeze the palms together if you have that openness today. If not, just let the palms come apart. Wonderful. One more breath. And then let's release the bind. Fingertips come under shoulders, come up halfway. Begin to walk your hands forward as if we're coming to a really wide leg down dog. Head relaxes and weight comes into the hands a little bit. Feeling the natural quieting of your mind as you press the fingertips down. Feeling the lengthening in the back of your legs. Release. Let's come back to center. We're going to spin to the top of your mat. Move your prop out of the way and step back to dog. And let's lower for a quick child's pose, letting the knees come wide. Big toes to touch. Sink your hips to your heels. Once again, crawl your hands forward, look up, press the finger pads down, and then relax the head. Inhale, lift the gaze. Let's come on up, make our way back to down dog. We're going to come to the second side of that series. So lifting the left leg, look forward, step the left foot through, and then we'll ground through the right heel. Inhale, rise up, cartwheeling the arms open. Coming to your warrior two. And taking a moment to feel into the posture, navel pulls in, check your knee, make sure it's tracking towards your foot in the front. And then think about pressing down, especially through the back foot. Left hip lifts a little bit. And then press both feet into the ground. So strong, like all the strength is coming up from the earth. 2 more breaths in our warrior two. Expansive gaze over the front finger. And flip the front palm. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, scoop it back. Gaze is coming up towards the fingertips, opening through the underarm, the upper chest. And gently release that. Let's straighten the front leg. Heel toe the back foot in just slightly, setting up for triangle pose. If you'd like your block, grab that and set it up. We'll bring arms to a T, send the hips back and lean forward. Let your left hand come down to the block or your shin. And then we're just going to bring right hand to hip to start. Gaze down, send the hips back. So pulling the left hip back. And then as you inhale, spin the chest open to the side. We're just going to release the back of our right hand to the low back. And if you need to come into it by kind of coming up and wrapping around, by all means do. And then maybe the gaze begins to lift. And see what's happening with this left arm. Do you need to kind of rotate it around and put it back into its socket? I always catch myself doing that. It's always in a weird spot. So drawing your awareness down to that bottom hand and really pressing into the feet, pressing into your block, opening the chest. And if you have that bind, go ahead and release it. We're going to come back to our low lunge. And this time we're just going to come straight into our lizard pose. So bring the left foot out to the side, left hand to the inside of your foot. Toes can even be off the mat if you like a nice wide base, and take a moment here with the back knee lifted. And then option to lower the right arm to the mat or to a block. You can stay right here. You can even lower the left arm if you have that space. You can just keep the hand on the ground. And then we're going to lower the back knee, untuck the back toes, hanging out in our lizard lunge for a few breaths. And I do love blocks under the forearms here. This is just the most comfortable version of this pose for me. And if you are not comfortable, just bring the left foot out even wider so you just have a nice wide base. The wider that your base is, the more space you have to come into this pose. And then a little bit of pressure into the back foot and the front foot, just to feel the body. Engage some of those muscles as we stretch and lengthen them. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and release that, extending the left leg, walk the hands back. Take a moment even there to point and flex the left toes. And then let's come back to tabletop. I'm laughing at myself today as I trip over my words. Plant your right hand. We're going to come to supported side plank. So left foot just comes straight behind you, foot on the ground, toes kind of pointed towards the side of the mat. And then begin to spin your chest open, right arm up to the sky. So you're pressing down through the foot, the back foot, the left foot, and your right hand. The gaze can lift if you like. Beautiful. And let's come back to center. We're going to make our way into lizard lunge on the right side. So bring your right foot up to the outside of your right hand. Toes can kind of splay off to the side. Tuck the left toes and lift the left knee. So we're going to start with our lizard here, nice and active, drawing our awareness to the left hip flexor, the inner right thigh. And then option here to lower the left forearm to the mat or a block. The right hand can stay where it is, or it can also lower down. One more breath in active lizard. And then release the left knee, untuck the toes. If you'd like to grab your blocks like me and hang out with both forearms on the block, by all means. If you need to adjust the right foot position, go for it. You should have a really nice lengthening on the inner right thigh and the left hip flexor. One more breath. And let's begin to press up onto hands. Move your props out of the way. Walk the hands back, straighten through the right leg. And then point and flex the right toes. And we'll release that, coming back through to table. And we'll set up for side plank on the other side. So left palm plants, right foot's going to come back. And then toes will face the long side of your mat. Pressing into the left arm. Make sure that left shoulder is kind of plugged in. Spin the chest open and extend the right fingertips up. Think about lifting the hips and kind of arcing through the side body. Sometimes it even feels good to take an extended version. I know we didn't do that on the other side, but that might feel nice. Just a little extra stretch. Pressing the hips forward a little bit. Maybe the gaze lifts. And then let's release, come back to your tabletop, sway your hips side to side. You might even do a little rounding of the spine, hips to heels, a little cat-cow motion. Good. And then let's sit back onto the heels if that's accessible. You can come up onto your knees. We're just going to pause. Let the face soften and notice how you're feeling. Are you more focused and present? And let the eyes blink open. Let's come to a wide leg position. And we're going to keep the right heel in. So left leg's going to come out. Right heel towards the groin. Flexing the left toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, crawl the hands forward any amount. And keep the left toes flexing, so we've got a little activation through the left leg. And then it might feel nice, if you happen to have a block, to bring the elbows down to the ground or to your block. And you can support the head. If you don't have a block, you can use your thumbs at the third eye center, elbows on the ground. And if you don't have that space, no worries. It's just a nice little extra to kind of let the head go and relax here. Still flexing through the left toes. Feeling that activation, sensations in the body. And then gently come on up. Bring your right foot to the inner thigh now, and we're going to come into Janushirshasana. But we'll take it with a little twist. So I'd like you to bring your torso to face your left leg. Left fingertips are going to stay on the outside of the leg. Right hand is going to come up and long as you inhale. Exhale, fold forward, grabbing for the outside of the foot or the calf or the ankle. So we're kind of coming up then halfway, twisting a little bit, using that left hand as leverage, and exhale, lower down. Still flexing through the left foot. And you can always bend the left knee a little if you need to. You don't want to overstretch anything. Relax the head slightly. And let's release that. Come on up. We'll switch sides. Right leg extends out. Left heel towards the groin. Right toes flexed as you inhale and lengthen. Exhale, crawl yourself forward all the way out. And when you sort of reach your comfortable edge, you can let the forearms relax down if that space is available to you. Keeping the flexion in your right foot. If you want to support the head, you can use your block. You can also just use the block under the elbows and then support your head with your thumbs at your third eye. I love that little pressure there. It helps stimulate the vagus nerve, which stimulates our parasympathetic nervous system. Still flexing through the right toes, right quad engaged. So you still have that mental awareness and focus. The mind is sort of being forced to focus, right? Because you can't ignore. One more breath. And then release. Let's come on up, moving into Janushirshasana, left foot to the right thigh. Once again, we'll take this into a little bit of a twist. So take your body and twist it to the right. You can place your right hand on the ground outside of the right leg. Inhale, left arm lengthens, and exhale, fold over left leg, grabbing for the outside of the calf or the foot. And then I love to kind of come up halfway, feel my abdomen twist a little bit, and then exhale, lower down, navel pulling in. Still flexing through the right foot. And again, if you need a little bend in the knee, by all means, take it. You can always come up slightly out of the pose, letting your left hand slide up the leg a little. One more breath. Wonderful. Let's release that and slowly come on up. Take a simple cross-legged position and just notice how you're feeling right now. And we're going to close our practice before Shavasana with some alternate nostril breathing. And if you haven't joined me before, we always end with a meditation. So we will, of course, include that if you are able to stay. But please stay for this breathwork practice if you're able. I'm going to do a version where I place my index finger and my third finger, middle finger, at my third eye. And then we'll close the right nostril with the right thumb. And we'll close the left nostril with the right ring finger or pinky finger, whatever feels more natural to you. For me, this feels better with the ring finger. So index finger and middle finger at the third eye, a little pressure there. Let's breathe in through both nostrils. And then as you exhale, close the right and exhale for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to inhale left for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the left nostril with your ring finger. Exhale right for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left for 5. Inhale left for 5. Close left. Exhale right. Let's begin to lengthen this. Inhale for 6. Close right. Exhale left for 6. Inhale left. Close left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Pause at the top, release the hand, exhale both nostrils, eyes are closed. Let the breath flow naturally in and out of your nose. Feeling that stillness and focus at the third eye center. And you're welcome to stay seated for meditation. If you would like to lie down for Shavasana and get comfortable, go ahead and transition there now. Usually I always welcome in a Shavasana for a few breaths, but it's totally up to you. If you need anything to get more comfortable for your meditation, grab a cushion, anything to sit on, and find your perfect space for meditation today. And as you arrive in your seat or your Shavasana, take a moment to get out the wiggles, find a comfortable space, and find your center. So often when I'm in meditation, I lean forward. So do you need to lean back a little bit? Really lengthening the spine, maybe adjust how you're sitting. Roll the shoulder blades down. If you're on your back, roll them under. And let the palms flip up just to come into the space of receiving. And today, with the concept of releasing mental fatigue, we're just going to start with a simple body scan. Beginning to observe how you're feeling in your body. So drawing your awareness to the soles of your feet. Allow them to relax and soften. Notice any sensations that might be there for you. And as we scan through the body, just letting go of judgment, letting go of anything you need to change or want to do differently, and allowing it to be what it is. And then drawing your awareness to the toes, letting them relax. The tops of your feet. Your ankles. Relaxing and softening the ankles. Awareness up through your shins and calves. Settling in at the knees. Softening and releasing tension from your knees. And awareness comes up through your quads and hamstrings into your hip joints, softening there. Your awareness rises up through the outer hips, your root chakra at the base of your tailbone, up through your entire pelvic bowl, softening and releasing tension. As the abdomen moves freely, the breath is soft. Softening through the pelvic bowl and your sacrum. Allowing each exhale to relax this space. Your awareness continues to move up into the solar plexus, the rib cage, all the way through the lower back, the middle back and thoracic spine. Moving into the upper chest, feeling the breath create this beautiful natural movement of the chest, of the belly, of the ribs. Relaxing through the shoulders and the upper back. And the tops of your shoulders soften away from the ears. The upper arms, relax the biceps and triceps. The elbows are soft. Your forearms release tension. And the hands completely relax. The fingers are soft, the palms, even the fingertips. And your neck begins to soften and release tension. Your jaw unhinges. The face muscles release. Your tongue rests easy in the bottom of your mouth. The back of the skull is soft. Your third eye, tension on the forehead just totally relaxes and releases. All the way to the crown of your head, softening the skin at the crown of your head. And if your awareness has wandered, let's bring it back into your third eye center, as if you're gazing out from the middle of your brain, the space between your eyebrows, and you see this little movie screen here. You might not see anything. As you continue to focus, you might either feel sensations, you might begin to see colors or lights, and allow yourself to be curious. What is there? And if it's nothing, be okay with nothing. Holding your focus in this space. Embracing whatever it is or is not that arises for you. And continue to breathe, and I'll bring us back in just a moment with the bell. Keeping your focus and awareness at your third eye center. And if that's a struggle, come back to your breath. If the awareness has wandered, come back to your focus. This is where I often invite in a mantra if my mind is wandering. Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda. Existence, consciousness, bliss. Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda. Keeping your focus at the third eye center. Releasing the mantra if you are still repeating that. Bringing your focus to your breath. Deepening your breath. Beginning to make small movements now, wiggling fingers and toes. Moving wrists and ankles. Taking a full body stretch if that's speaking to you. And if you're on your back, releasing the stretch, hugging knees to chest. If you're seated, just staying here for another moment. And slowly making your way onto one side, pausing for a moment of intention. Setting your intention for this next segment of your day. What is it you want to bring in for this space and cultivate? And as you're ready, slowly coming up to a seat. And let's just do a few little neck half circles, just to release any tension there. Kind of miss the neck in our practice. As you're ready, just a little gentle side to side. Maybe even a full circle if that feels good. And then slowly switching directions, full circle the other way. Coming back to center, we'll close our practice with the sound of Om, hands to heart center. Give yourself a little smile. Nice deep inhale. Sending yourself love and gratitude for showing up for you today. Sending your love and gratitude to all those practicing around the world together today. And sending our love and gratitude to all beings. May our practice in some way, shape, or form help all those who are suffering. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and live freely. Thank you so much for your presence and your practice today. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. I'll come up here in just a moment and read comments if you want to stick around for a couple minutes. I hope you all enjoyed this practice. If you feel so moved or called to offer a donation today as an energy exchange, those are always very much appreciated. If you would like to donate off of Apple, you can go to my link tree in my bio, and there is a PayPal and a Buy Me a Coffee donation option on there as well. And I will scoot up to say goodbye to everyone that's joining live. Thank you all so much for coming today. Namaste. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Namaste. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Many blessings.